Hi, my name is Seth Shore. I'm here with the MIO 3D booth. This is DeMarco Foster, and we're here to tell you about a new technology called MIO 3D, or Multi-Interocular 3D. And the basic idea is solving an age-old problem with a very simple and a very easy-to-use solution, which if you know anything about 3D, the simplest way to explain it is the tighter your camera is together, the weaker your 3D is, and the closer your convergence point is. The wider your cameras are away from each other, the stronger your 3D can be, but also the farther away your convergence point is pushed. So most camera rigs are set up to be able to slide the cameras back and forth, and it's a good solution, but it's not the best solution or the quickest solution to solving the problem. So say I want to converge on DeMarco here, and he's standing right there. I'm going to have my cameras tighter, and if DeMarco runs all the way down to the restrooms, I'm going to want to widen my cameras out wide so that I can actually shoot him down there. Now that takes time and setup. So I literally got to usually stop, readjust my rig, make sure the 3D is working, and then I want to shoot for him to be down there. So I can't use the same setup for those two shots. Well, there's a very simple solution. You add a camera. We've added a third camera, and that's just the easiest and quickest and simplest way to do it. And so right now, we've got 3 different IOs, not 2, but 3. So we've got a very tight IO, a medium IO, and a wide IO set for different shots. It essentially gives you versatile convergence points or multiple convergence points in post. So all 3 of these cameras run at the same time, you shoot the same things, and what DeMarco can do right now is he can shoot me from right there, and then he can turn around and not even stop recording, no adjusting, and he can shoot the restrooms just fine. And in post, what I am doing is I'm going through and I'm cutting between the 2 different cameras. This is not a camera system, this is a methodology. You can use any type of cameras. We actually have a beam splitter rig right over here that we built in, believe it or not, less than 24 hours with the plates, which I'll get to in a second. And it actually is using 3 cameras. We've got 2 on top, and if you look down here, you've got 1 on the bottom. We use this rig right here to shoot a feature-length film, and we did it in 22 days. If we had to adjust and do adjustments to the camera rig, we would have probably taken close to about 40 days to shoot the film. So it drastically cut production costs because we were literally able to shoot, stop shooting that scene, reset up, move the camera, and then immediately go to shooting, no adjustments needed to the camera rig. It was a beautiful and a very, very quick and elegant way to do it, and it's a very simple solution. Now the other thing I want to actually bring attention to is the plate system that Mr. Sean Fairburn has developed. If you look closely, you'll notice that there's holes that don't have any threading, and there's holes that have threading. That threading is set up to work with any camera mounting system that you have, and then you also have holes where you can actually drill it into anything if you need to, or connect it. So let's say you have a wonderful, wonderful GearNex head like this one right here, which is just a little plug for your GearNex. You can spend $50,000 on an ARRI head, or you can spend about $7,000 on a GearNex head. Wonderful head, fluid motion. You're not going to get anything better for the price, folks. But let's say you have the GearNex head and you want to put 2 cameras on it, you want to shoot parallel. What are you going to do? You've only got 1 mounting system, so you can only mount 1 camera. So in post, or not in post, but in production, what you can do is you literally can take the plates, and you've got the screws to mount these 2 together, and then you literally have the option to set your cameras side by side in any way, in any format that you want. And you can develop these and expand these out, and you can put as many cameras on or as little as you want. And you can also add plenty of other things like lighting, like sound and audio equipment. It's kind of like a very, very expensive Tinker toy set for doing 3D production in the field. Or if you want to think of it this way, it's almost like a rail system, but with a lot of holes in it, and it's a little bit more versatile because it's not just one direction. You can build it out any way you want. Like I said, we have our beam splitter rig, which we literally built in less than 24 hours. If you can get in here, you can actually see. And I'll raise this up. Oh, it's locked, so we won't. We built this beam splitter rig in about 24 hours because the beam splitter rig we had coming to us for the show did not show up. So we thought, well, we've got some glass. Let's see if we can make it out of these plates. Well, in less than 24 hours, we were able to put together a very, very rough prototype of a beam splitter rig, which actually worked wonderfully for our feature-length film. So for the rig that DeMarco was showing you over here, you can cut to that one. But for that rig, those were set IOs. But you had 3 of them. So we literally handed that footage or those cameras out to some snowboarders and said, hey, turn these on, press play, and go and shoot some footage. So they went out, pressed play, shot some footage, came back with some brilliant 3D footage that worked. Tell me, who you can give another rig to that doesn't know anything about shooting cameras, let alone know anything about shooting 3D, and can come back with footage that you can use. And we were able to use 90% of it because they had some type of convergence that worked out of those 3 cameras. Now you can go for a little bit more intense system where you can actually put a beam splitter, and we actually can put it on a slider down here, and you can adjust it if you want to do some fine-tuning adjustments for that. Or, better yet, get a wider one and add cameras. So what our solution is, quicker is better, and it saves money in the field. So adding cameras, and the smaller the cameras are getting now, the easier it is to make MIO 3D just pop. I want to take you over here real quick. I want to give a shout out to our friends over at IndyCam. Excuse me a second, boss. Our wonderful friends over at IndyCam have actually set up their own MIO 3D rig using one of the plates. And what this does is this actually allows them to shoot MIO 3D on a very, very high bitrate camera system, wonderful glass, wonderful lenses, very, very tiny, and they're beautiful. You can put that on a helmet, you can take it out, and you can shoot 3D footage of someone riding their motorcycle. You can shoot 3D footage of someone jumping out of an airplane wearing it on their helmet. And it's wonderful, high bitrate, beautiful cameras. It's not about the camera. It's not about the type of camera they're using. It's about the method. And the methodology is multiple interocular, gives you multiple options in post, which then makes your post workflow beautiful. As an editor, I love it. I love the fact that if my shot is not working, my camera operator just didn't set it up right, I have another camera to go to, and I actually have 3 options in post.